Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abdul Fattah and I came from PPI 4A, and I'm here intended with the purpose of to do the final exam of academic listening, and with all my honor and my best regards to Miss Annie Erawati Sargi, MPD, as the lecturer of this course. And I will talk about expand my opinion educational on pandemics. We are to focus on material things such as teachers, orators, buildings, and curriculum. Just enter here. The curriculum is brought direct from Finland. As join us, our building are aesthetic to Rome infrastructures, or our lab might more significant. And when pandemic comes, it is like dust that don't matter. The COVID-19 pandemic has created the largest disruption of education system in human history, affecting nearly 1.6 billion learners in more than 200 countries. Closure of schools, institutions, and other learning spaces have impacted more than 94% of the world student population. This has brought far-reaching changes in all aspects of our lives. Social distancing and restrictive movement policies have significantly disturbed traditional educational practices. Reopening of schools after relaxation of restriction is another challenge, with many new standard operating procedures put in place. Within a short span of COVID-19 operating procedures put in place, many researchers have shared their works on teaching and learning in different ways. Several schools, colleges, and universities have discontinued face-to-face teachings. There is a fear of losing 2020 academic year or even more in the coming future. The need of the hour is to innovate and implement alternative educational system and assessment strategies. The COVID-19 pandemic has provided us with an opportunity to pave the way for introducing digital learning. E-learning tools have played a crucial role during this pandemic, helping schools and universities facilitate students with learning during the closure of universities and schools, according to Subari et al. At 2020. While adapting to new changes, staff and student readiness needs to be gauged and supported accordingly. The learners with a fixed mindset find it difficult to adapt and adjust, whereas the learner with a growth mindset quickly adapt to a new learning environment. There is no one-size-fits-all pedagogy for online learning. There are a variety of subjects varying learning. The use of suitable and relevant pedagogy for online education may depend on the expertise and exposure to information and communication. And there are a variety of subjects with varying needs. Different subjects and age groups require different approaches to online learning. The use of suitable and relevant pedagogy for online education may depend on the expertise and exposure to the information and of the communication technology, or ICT shortly. For both educators and the learners, some of the online platforms used so far include unified communication and collaboration platforms such as Microsoft Teams. For instance, it's Microsoft Word and Excel that we often used, and also Google Classroom, Canva, an app to design things, and Blackboard, which allow the teachers to recreate educational courses, training, and skill development programs. They include options of workplace chat, video meeting, and file storage that keep classes organized and easy to work. They usually support the sharing of variety content like Word, PDF, Excel file, audio, videos, and many more. This also allows the tracking of student learning and assessment by using quizzes, like when after you got the materials from your lecturer or your teachers, you have got onto your Chromes and type the quizzes, and you spilled your understanding there. And the rubric-based assessment of submit assignment. With the availability of C platforms and online educational tools, the users, both education and learners, face frequent hiccups while using it, referring one to another to these tools. And some of the challenges identified and highlighted by many researchers. And recently, broadly identified challenges with e-learning are the accessibility, affordability, flexibility, learning pedagogy, lifelong learning, and educational policy, according to Murgatroyd in 2020. Many countries have substantial issues with the reliable internet connection and access to digital devices, while in many developing countries, the economically backward children are unable to afford online learning devices. The online education poses a risk of exposure to increased screen learning devices. The online that therefore it has become essential for students to engage offline activities and self-exploratory learning. Lack of parental guidance, especially for young learners, is another challenge too. As both parents are working, there are practical issues around physical workspace conducive to different ways of learning. The initially motivated learners are relatively unaffected in their learning as they need minimum supervision and guidance. And here, we need teacher and lecturer. And from the economically disadvantaged background are unable to access and afford online learning, and the level of academic performance of the students are likely to drop for the classes held for both year and examination and internal examination due to reduced contact hour for learners and lack of consultation with the teachers when facing difficulties in learning or understanding. Of course, we in here the roles of the teachers and the parents need to be match each other. That we have to support these new strategies learnings by watching them and in the meantime of our kids. And student assessment are carried out online with a lot of trial and error, uncertainty and confusion among the teachers, students and parents. The approach of adopted to conduct online examination varies as per the confidence and expertise among the educators and the capability of the learners. Although there have been overwhelming challenges for educators, schools, institutes, and the government regarding online education from a different angle. There are several opportunities created by the COVID-19 pandemic for the unprepared and the distance plans of implementing a learning system. It has forged a strong connection between teachers and parents than ever before. The homeschooling requires parents to support their students' learning academically and economically. Children with these disabilities need additional and special support during this ongoing emergency. The use of online platforms such as Google Classroom, Zoom, Google Meet, and virtual learning environment, social media such as Telegram, Messenger, WhatsApp, and WeChat to explore and taught for teaching and learning for the first time to ever continue to education. This can be explored further even after face-to-face teaching resumes, such as we giving out the assignment to our students through the WhatsApp, and we sent the assignment to that. And these platforms can provide additional resources and coaching to the learners. Teachers are obligated to develop creative and initiatives to assist overcome the limitation of virtual learning. Teachers also have to be actively collaborate with one another at a local level to improve online teaching methods. The lesson learned from the COVID-19 pandemic is that teachers and students have to got their growth mindset and developing to step to step, from phase to era, and they shouldn't be dependent on materials and be oriented on use different online educational tools. Give it a try. After the COVID pandemic, when the normal classes resume, we have face-to-face classes, and learners should be encouraged to continue using online tools to enhance teaching and learning. And that's all from me. Thanks for the attention. Sorry for if there's anything mistaken. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.